Governor Polis described his meeting with President Trump as an opportunity to advance Colorado's needs.
Today was a very important discussion for the future of the supply chain of Colorado.
He removed his Colorado flag mask only after he says everyone in the room tested negative for COVID-19 and stressed the need for supplies. In particular, Polis encouraged President Trump to continue the FEMA program that delivers PPE to nursing homes and senior centers. He said that would allow Colorado to focus on securing equipment for medical staff and first responders. They also pushed the need for more testing.
This is a time for all Americans to work together.
But there was noticeably no pushback when President Trump made a claim about voting by mail that has been disproven by Colorado's Democratic and Republican secretaries of state.
The problem with the mail-in ballots, it's subject to tremendous corruption, cheating.
Republican Senator Cory Gardner, who was also in the room, also didn't correct the president's claim about mail-in ballots. Polis says Wednesday's meeting wasn't the time to get into it.
I think a sound approach throughout this is not to pick political fights with anybody in particular, but rather to have a spirit of collaboration.
On Twitter and signs inside the White House, the Trump administration touted how many supplies Colorado already received. But Polis says if you look closely at the fine print, those whopping totals also include what the state bought on its own. Those details aside, Polis says the focus of his conversations with the president remain on a strong economy and saving lives.
You can't have a strong economy when people live in mortal fear because of mass casualties.
Jordan Chavez, 9 News.